Why did my bad grades get my teacher arrested? You know how teachers always say, there are no bad students, only bad study habits? Yeah, turns out sometimes there are very bad teachers. And I don't mean forgot to grade your homework bad. I mean FBI knocking on your school door bad. So this was senior year. I was failing chemistry like it was a personal challenge. Mr. Dempsey, our teacher, was one of those I'm your friend but secretly hate children types. The kind who wore elbow patches, called himself a mentor, and smelled faintly of bourbon and crushed dreams. When I failed my midterm, he told me, "Son, some people just aren't cut out for higher education. Maybe try plumbing." Which is ironic because 3 weeks later he'd be knee-deep in his own, well, mess. Anyway, I was desperate to pass. So I asked if there was any extra credit. He smirked and said, "Sure, help me with some lab inventory after school." Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. His lab inventory was actually a meth lab project. No joke. Apparently, Mr. Dempsey had been experimenting with volatile substances. Let's just say he was testing more than the periodic table. But I didn't know that. So there I am after class labeling beakers and heating samples like an unpaid Breaking Bad intern. He says, "Don't inhale too much, the fumes are, strong." Strong? Dude, I could taste colors. The next week I start coughing during gym. My hair smells like acetone and despair. The school nurse sends me to the hospital where they run tests and call the police. Apparently, the chemicals in my system weren't educationally approved. The feds traced it back to the school. And boom, Mr. Dempsey's classroom turned into a full-blown crime scene. The man had a mini meth operation running out of the supply closet. When they cuffed him, he actually had the nerve to yell, "That kid was my best student." Yeah, thanks, Walter White Jr. The school tried to keep it quiet, but word got out fast. He was trending on Facebook before I even got my final exam results. Guess who passed chemistry with an A+ that semester? Yours truly, courtesy of evidence handling. And the best part? My mom framed the report card. She said, "See, hard work pays off." I just nodded and thought, yeah, and so do DEA investigations. Now every time someone asks how I got into college, I tell them, by helping my teacher blow up his career.